I can get price to pull back into this zone a little bit, I'm going to take this long trade. Even though price is inside the channel, I really like what I'm seeing here. It's probably a little early, but I do like our position here. So basically looking for price to continue this trend back up. Not sure if we're going to get there or not, but I do think we're going to get price to get back to our take profit. Okay, new candle here. Same notion. Kind of want to see price push down, go back up. Let's see. Okay, so there's 450, or it was 600. Okay, I'll take 350 on that. Could have been 600, but we got out a little bit late. I made $700 on this candle right here. Let me show you how. Okay, so some buyers stepping in right here in this area right here, so that's good. So we're gonna sell into that. Let's see if we can get something here. Okay, so price rolling up a little bit. Let's see what we got. Good. Okay, I'm gonna go sell right there. Okay, entry was a little behind where maybe I clicked or wanted it to be, but still a solid trade. So let's see if we can get price down to about 5 points lower than where it is right now. We'll take a profit there. Really like our position. And there's 690, 615. They ended up being about $700 on that one. Could have said and gotten a little more, but that was a hell of a trade. So 5-minute chart shows us price is coming down. 1-minute chart shows the same thing. We wait for price to get into our sell zone over here, and we take a short. Couldn't be more textbook than that.
Here's $540 of profit in about 30 seconds on what I call a textbook trade. Price pulls back, we jump in, and it rockets up. Check it out.
Okay, so we're looking for a long here. Let's see if we can get price to pull back into our zone, and then we'll take that position. So let's see what we get here. Okay. We can go buy right there. I mean, a horrific fill for that. My fill should have been right there. So I guess $60 difference isn't crazy, but wow, that was a bad fill. All right, let's see what we get here. Looking for $300 to $400 of profit on this one, maybe a little more, depending on what we get from price. Let's see here. So there's 75. Okay, a little bit of cruising. 285, 390, 5. There we go. 540, I believe that one was, and I probably left a little bit on the table there too. Okay, 1-minute chart on the left, 5-minute on the right. Now, the reason I like the higher time frame looking at this is I clearly see prices rejecting over here, and I'd like a long. I'm gonna go long right here. Let's go buy right there. Okay, and I know price is going to reject all the way up here. So that's 69. That's about 12 points away. Not really worried about that. But I have a lot of selling pressure basically right here. Now we're up 405. This is a really quick one. 480, 555. We'll take 555 on that one. That was really fast. But really, I'm just looking at the 5-minute here. I'm seeing where price is. It actually gets into our buy zone on the 5-minute. Punched out a little bit further on our 1-minute here, and then it just ran out. So that was actually a really good trade. Happened a little bit faster than I thought it would, but super solid there. Let's move on to the next one.
$870 on these two scalps going long on NQ futures. Check it out.
All right, so 2 trades in one on this recording here, but we're looking for a long here. We jump in, and the reason for my long was on the right side, we have the 5-minute volume footprint chart, and on the left side, we just have the 1-minute candles. And what I'm seeing here is a bunch of buying volume right where that green candle opens on the right. So we've got 2 notches at the opening, another one on the next candle, and then 2 more. So I'm seeing a ton of buyers step in. I'm also seeing price starting to trend back up a little bit. And that gives me the confidence and conviction to take this first trade. So price runs up pretty good on us, and we're able to get about 660 out of this first trade. All right. So there's that one. And then the next one, same kind of thing. But this time we're going to let price fall to our spot. We have a ton of buying volume right at where I purchased. And then price essentially just takes off on us. Now, I think the peak on this one was about 340 or something like that. I ended up closing this trade out for a lot less than that because price didn't go as fast as I wanted to, up as quickly as I wanted it to, but we did have a solid trade here. So let's take a look at how this performs. But we have a big green candle. We let price reverse. We got in at just about the right time. We just didn't get the continuation of that upward movement that I kind of thought we would get. So 1-minute chart shows us our entry inside of our zone at pretty much the beginning of it. We could have waited a little longer to get that. But price dances on us, and it does end up closing out at 210. So let's just be patient and kind of watch that happen here. All right. And what you can see on the right side is I'm thinking about a break even right now because the price is just kind of not moving very far. But on the right side, we've got some selling volume at that opening of the red candle there. So a lot of interesting like movements here. And I'm going to go ahead and capture 210 here in just a second when it gives it to me. But interesting trade. It was profitable, but not as much as it could have been. Looking to go short here. A lot of selling just occurred really fast inside of basically what I was already trying to see before. So price is struggling to make a new high. It's easier to see on the 1 minute chart here. And then we get this big flush out, and this is basically sellers saying it's time for price to come back down. So there's 3, there's 405. Let's see if we can get a little more on this one. This is going to be a bigger trade, ideally at least. So let's see, there's 390, 405. I want to see price come down quite a bit. 435. I guess if we can get to 500, that'd be cool. Okay, patiently waiting. Still waiting here. $465, $480. Okay, I'm not going to play around $90. So there's 405 on that trade. Really good trade there. Price is inside the channel, yes, but price flushes out heavily, and that gives us our short momentum. And then, of course, I would have made $1,000 on this trade had I just held a little longer. So there's that too. But super solid trade there. Can't be upset about leaving money on the table when you collected money in the first place. So let's move on to the next one. All right, so let's see. All right, so I'm looking for a short here, 1 minute chart. Turn the face down a little bit. And 5 minute chart shows me short as well. I'm looking at, if I can get price kind of up in this region, we can do candle here, but like right there, maybe a little further down. I'll take that. So ATR is probably pretty low right now. Yeah, we're sitting at like 10. That's not great, but let's see what comes of it. Let's see. So far we've got price, got we're down on the day, barely we are. All right, let's just see what happens here. A lot of buyers stepping in right here, selling right here. So we have strong selling, but I'm not going to chase it. Go. And close. Wow, I can't believe we didn't get that fill actually. I still like my position here. That's atrocious. Missed it by a tick. Well, if we got it once, we're not going to get it again. So let's see. There it is. All right, so we're in the trade, and price really ran up. So we're about a point early, but I don't mind that at all. So we're 3 contracts in, looking for a short here, and I'm looking to get about 250, which means my stop loss will be also about 250 as well. So let's see what price wants to do here, because ideally I want this candle to get back to its open price, and that should give us enough profit to get out of this one. So price is inside the channel, but we're pushing back out, which is what I'm looking for. So, okay, so we're up 30, 45, minus 15. So we're just chilling right now, kind of sitting around waiting for price to make a move here. There's 105, there's 120. Okay, price immediately goes back. Okay, down 105. Okay, so nothing shaking here. Might have to get out of this one here. Let's see what happens. So price drops all the way back down. That's good. 90, 105. This might be a break-even trade here. Let's see. Okay. There's 210, 240. All right, so we'll take 240 on that one. I think it'd be 250. So we'll take that. Let's see what the account is up on the day. So we're up $1,600 on the day. Not bad at all. All right, let's see if we can get ourselves a long trade here. So let's get that out of the way first. Okay. Now, move this over a bit. And 5-minute chart. Let's add the model to that. Okay. So showing us that we're still in that upward side of the channel. So let's see, we've got price rolling out here. Now I'd like to see price fly up here, pull back, and then run. So let's see if we get something like that here. Okay, and there it is. So let's go long right there. We're gonna buy right there. Okay, and ATR is pretty low right now, so we're not expecting a ton. But if I can get about 250, that'd be cool. So there's 225, there's 210, 270. We're still running a little bit. Okay, we'll take 270 on that one. Super solid and quick trade. We had price flying up, really quick and easy, honestly. So that was really nice. $390 on this trade right here. Let's watch as this is a trade started on Friday and posting this a day later. Price leaves our channel. It runs back up, and what we've seen is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is going to be now 5 candles in a row that are red. So we wanted to have an aggressive entry on this trade. My fill wasn't the best. It should have been about a point or two higher. So we made it a little more on this, but fell pretty quickly. Price fell to 3 and change, pulls back a little, and it ends up being about a $390 trade. And you can see on our 5-minute chart that we have a ton of selling volume. And so this was a simple, easy, quick one for us to capture. I'll see you in the next one. All right, so trade 2 on the day was a really good one, but we entered way too soon. So this is going to be a longer video if we end up on the YouTube with this one. We have a long forming trade that I see very clearly. However, price doesn't react the way I thought it would. So what we end up having is a big candle up, a nice pullback. We get a tremendous entry. And to tell you the truth, the reason that this trade ended up working out in the first place was because the entry was so good. So we enter and we're immediately up about 300 bucks or so, 345, 375, and then price begins to pull back and it dances in this region for a few minutes. So I had to cut down a little bit of the earlier part of the video. So this whole entire thing is the exact pace that we went at. But essentially, price just dances, and it takes quite a while for it to get exactly where we want it to. So it's going to range in this area here, and I'm going to skip ahead in the video and get closer to the end where price begins to really push out. And then once we get that confirmation that buyers have stepped into the market and that we're getting that run, I want to hold here. We end up getting about 570. So really good trade. Took a little longer than I thought, but ended up working out in our favor. I'll see you in the next one. We ended up making $915 on this trade. Now here's what happened. We had price start to run up, okay, started to make like higher lows, so price is just consistently stacking. We have price pull back a little bit, we enter the trade. Now, technically we don't want to trade inside of the channel as it can get quite choppy, but this is one that I really wanted. It was an aggressive trade. We had price reversing off of a low. Now price immediately runs up, and when you see something like that, there are only two things that are going to happen. Price is going to yank back down, which I was prepared for if I exit the trade, or it's going to continue to sky up. So we were up about 315 and we kind of just huddled right there for a while. And then eventually price gets to and then through our take profit zone. And we are able to capture quite a nice profit here. And one of the things on this trade that I wanted to really emphasize was holding long enough to capture. Could have made almost $1,000 on this trade if I leveraged it a little more, but got a really nice exit. It was a really good trade. All right, so another solid trade here, but with this one it's a little bit different. So we had price crashing down in the early morning. It then begins to reverse back up.
Now, when that happens, I'm looking for all of these longs. We end up making like 1,500 bucks just off of this one move alone, right? It's a really good morning. Now with this trade though, what I was looking at was price to continue its upward movement. I hadn't seen any reason why it couldn't do that. And so I took a long as price pulled back after making like a new high relative to what we had just seen. Okay, so there are 3 candles in a row that had now basically rejected the same point, our take profit zone. So my entry was perfect and it kind of saved me here because what ended up happening is price came back down and went down. I got up about 210 and I exited the trade, and you'll see that here in just a second. But then for the rest of for the next move, it completely ran down. So sometimes you're going to win trades by just managing them well, by entering well and exiting maybe a little bit before you want to. But that's ultimately going to save your account, and that's what I did with this trade here. So super solid trade, made good money, but took us, it wasn't the move we were looking to capture. Let's see the next one. Another textbook trade here. We have price running down out of our channel, downtrend, and we have price reversing back up. Now, what I was using in this trade in the beginning was a limit order. I wanted to see price reverse back to my level. I'd actually missed it on the previous candle. I got a little bit too excited and wanted to see price reverse a little higher, so I missed it, but I was able to get in on this candle. Now, the most amount of money I was up in this trade was about at the beginning. I think it was 315 or 375, something like that. 330 it looks like. And then from there, price really didn't do a whole heck of a lot. We actually ended up managing this trade out and made about 225 on this one. So really quick and easy and good trade. It just didn't work out the way we wanted it to. But point still stands. Price pulled outside the channel. That's what we're looking for. We then wait for price to reverse. We get that. And I don't think we could have gotten a better entry for this trade. We could have just gotten out a little bit better at the bottom of the candle. So again, super solid trade. Really excited one here. And price ended up continuing at that downtrend for the rest of the day. But we weren't able to capture a whole heck of a lot of value beyond that. I'll see you in the next one. Now this was a pretty cool trade. So this is actually following the previous video I just made or just posted. The very next candle we took a short as well. Price was really beginning to chop in this region. Price went lower, it would roll back up, we would take a short. That was kind of the process for this point. So same thing happens here. Price rolls up real nicely and we get in probably a point or two too soon, but you can quickly see that this thing runs into 400 bucks of profit pretty quick. We end up closing out at about $555 of profit on this one. Quick trade. The most cool thing scalping is about getting in and out of trades really fast, and that's partially true. The biggest thing about scalping is your entry has to be precise. And on this trade, I got maybe the most perfect entry I could have asked for on a trade here. We entered with maybe a quarter point too early, and price hits our level and immediately rejects. We're basically calling the market's bluff that price is going to reverse all the way back up after having such a strong downtrend. And so we end up making about 600 bucks on this trade pretty quick, and I mean, our entry was just spot on there. Here's another perfect scalp. So we have price trending down, and you can see on the 1 minute chart on the left side, every single candle has a top wick up and then price pushes down. So a very strong downtrend. Buyers step in, market, once price go down, everybody sells. So what we do here is we wait for price to reverse back up into our sell zone here. Happens pretty quick. We get about a half a point in too early, but so perfect entry essentially. And then price ends up flying down. Now it takes a second. I almost get out of this trade a little bit too soon. So thank heaven I didn't, but we're up about 210, 195. I'm thinking about exiting, and then price proceeds to just run. So we end up getting about a 570 on that trade. Solid trade.